Serving within the ministries of our church can be an extremely powerful experience to those serving and to those being served. Let's listen to some examples from within our congregation.
This church has allowed me to get involved in many different facets. And it's not just the fact that you're feeding the people, you're creating an environment where people can meet each other. It's like a social, St. George's was the greatest examples. When we started, we had 15, 16 volunteers. And now it's like, oh my Lord, name tags please, because I can't remember this many people, right? And they get together and you see the happiness and joy of them working together. And it creates a lot of good relationships and new friendships, which, should be long lasting.
I'll never forget the first worship concert that my husband and I went to. And it was incredibly powerful, and God spoke to me in that moment, seeing thousands of people worshiping, and it looked like heaven. And I've always loved singing, and in that moment, I really felt God speak to me and say, I've given you this gift and this love for music and for people, and I want you to come and work for me. A year later, the Saturday night service was announced, and that you were looking for musicians and vocalists. And for me, that was just a clear sign again from God that it was in His timing. And so here I am, and I auditioned, and here we are almost 2.5 years later, and it's been life-changing.
I did my first Kairos movement last year, then we got involved in a new one called Kairos Torch, and now we're dealing with incarcerated juveniles, which is a better chance to stop them from going into the big house to begin with. And that's been very, very moving, and it's still ongoing at this time. We go in there, meet them for the first time, start mentoring to them, and make a commitment. We will mentor with them until they get released.
God used this church to change my life and to bring me into relationship with Him. And so while I also felt the call to be on worship team and music ministry, I also believe that God had a plan, and it was a call for all of us on call committee to be on that committee as well. Him using this church for me specifically, and I can speak for the rest of the committee members too, just having that love for this church and His people is a big part of it.
And one of the greatest things we need to do is be in service, because God loves that. That's the purpose we're put on earth, was to serve. And when He uses our hands to reach out to His kingdom, He is so happy.